Coming up, where thousands of volunteers came together to clean up the mess left behind from 4th of July celebrations here on Suncoast beaches. Plus, police still trying to figure out what led to a man drowning near Sarasota's 10th Street boat ramp, and the complaints that led to a Charlotte County Sheriff Sergeant losing his badge. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, another 4th of July in the books and the mess revelers left behind. Today, Suncoast residents woke up bright and early to clean up the trash on Sarasota County beaches following Independence Day celebrations. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us from Siesta Key Beach, just one of those cleanup locations.
If you thought Sarasota County beaches were busy only for 4th of July this week, well, think again. Hundreds of volunteers woke up bright and early, not for a morning swim, but for the 5th annual Liberty Litter Cleanup.
This year we're at 9 county beaches. The nice thing about that is it allows the beachgoers to come back to a clean beach after the July 4th holidays.
The countywide beach cleanup is in high hopes of making sure 9 beaches in Sarasota County are clean and remain some of the top beaches within the state.
We moved here just under 2 years ago because we love the beach. I figure if we're going to live here and use the beach, we should help maintain it.
We're told these 9 beaches are usually hit the hardest by 4th of July celebrations. More than 150 volunteers made it their effort to pick up as much trash and recyclables as they possibly could. With the annual beach cleanup, on average, about 2 tons of trash is collected every year.
Of course, the goal would be to have that reduced, although this year we've added 2 more beaches, so it'll be interesting to see, how that compares to past year's events.
The cleanup isn't only to keep the beaches beautiful, but to protect the wildlife here on the Suncoast.
So if we don't pick it up off the beaches, a lot of times it can be blown by the wind into the water. It can become a hazard to the animals, and of course nobody wants to be out swimming in the Gulf with trash and with litter.
Today's cleanup kicked off at 7 o'clock this morning and wrapped up at 10. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office trying to figure out who dumped hundreds of gallons of oil along the side of a road in Punta Gorda. It happened on US 41 near Zemmel Road, which is near the Charlotte County landfill. Deputies are looking for the person responsible, and Crime Stoppers is offering a reward. If you have any information, call the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office Tips Hotline. Sarasota police are investigating what led to a drowning in Sarasota Bay. It happened near Centennial Park and the 10th Street boat ramp. Just after noon yesterday, police say 2 men were swimming in the bay and then became separated. One of them eventually noticed the other was unconscious and yelled for help. The victim was brought to shore where rescuers performed CPR, but he did not survive. Police say the victim was in his mid-50s, but his name has not been released yet. Heavy rains brought on some street flooding throughout the Suncoast from 301 to 41 in Sarasota. Cars had problems getting through those flood waters. 41 at 10th Street was shut down in both directions for a while. But once the floodwaters started to recede, cars were allowed to move along very slowly. People that live in that area think the flooding may have lasted longer there because of all the construction along US 41.
There's a lot of concrete that's been constructed. A lot of surfaces have now been paved over that used to absorb the water.
I've never seen flooding this bad anywhere. Like, I've been down here since I was little and I've never seen it flood like this.
If you see water covering a roadway, remember to take it slow, and if you don't know how deep it is, just turn around and don't take the risk. We talk about that all the time, John.
Yes.
Turn around, don't drown.
That's right. Be interesting to see whether or not the extra concrete in the area did lead or contribute to the flooding. I know that was a big issue in Houston with their flooding there,
right.
Is that a lot of the green space had been paved over and created an issue, so that'll be interesting.
The rain that fell yesterday afternoon, though, was very,
buckets.
very heavy. Yeah.
Came down in buckets. Yeah, it sure did. Tropical downpours, and it came down hard and it came down heavy. Luckily, it didn't mar most of the fireworks celebrations, though. That's the good news. So I'm glad to see that. Lakewood Ranch webcam. Well, that is Lakewood Ranch webcam. Put it into motion. Shows a little bit of building clouds out there in the distance. So it's kind of nice to see clouds without the rain showers, and currently we don't have a whole lot of rain showers in progress. We have across the region kind of a transient weather pattern today. Things are changing somewhat. The low pressure area that brought us the heavy rainfall, lightning, gusty winds, etc. yesterday, now moving out into the central Gulf waters. We have a generally lighter flow of air across the state on an easterly wind today. We'll build a stronger sea breeze, and we'll have a high pressure ridge building into the south. Some drier air also filtering in as well. So the combination of all these factors means that our rain chance is less today than it was yesterday, probably by about 50% or so. And currently we don't have a whole lot of action going on radar right now. We'll talk about what we expect to see for the remainder of the afternoon coming up in just a few. Scott?
John, thank you. New developments on a man accused of videotaping people with hidden cameras inside his Lombok Key condo. Wayne Nat will get to stay there, at least for now. Since Nat was arrested last September, police have been trying to confiscate his condo on Cedars Court. But last week, the town agreed to settle its property forfeiture case against him for $30,000. Nat has pleaded no contest to 15 counts of video voyeurism. He's scheduled to be sentenced July 26th. A Charlotte County Sheriff Sergeant is fired, accused of exposing himself at a restaurant. Investigators say a group of Charlotte County deputies were celebrating a promotion at a restaurant in Punta Gorda when Sergeant James White unzipped his pants and exposed himself. The incident happened last August. An internal investigation has ended, but deputies are still conducting another one now. White was on temporary paid leave for about 8 months, but was officially fired last week. New developments out of Thailand now in the race to free those 12 boys and their soccer coach trapped in a flooded cave. ABC's James Longman explains what new ways crews are considering to get them out, including taking the boys out in stages.
Rescuers moving quickly this morning, bringing air tanks, wetsuits and dozens of life jackets to that stranded soccer team before the impending monsoon moves in. Inside, video showing divers holding against dangerously strong currents. The team's putting in ropes to create a guide for the boys to follow through the labyrinth of caverns. And outside, they're training new divers, building dams and running pumps around the clock, pulling water out of the cave at an enormous rate. And now the tireless effort seemingly paying off. Authorities say half of that daunting 2.9-mile trek has drained enough that it is accessible without scuba gear. One official telling me that once the water comes down below neck level in the other caves, and at the moment it's here, they hope to fit the boys with life jackets and float them out, one by one. To get a sense of what the team is facing, we went to another cave nearby. These caves go on for such a long way. This one goes on for something like a quarter mile, and even thinking about that just kind of gives you the creeps. It's cold, it's damp, it smells. And now we're learning more about the boys trapped inside. This is 16-year-old Knight. He didn't show up to his own birthday party, which is how the group was first discovered missing. This boy, called Titan, huddled in the back row, is the youngest at just 11 years old. Right next to him, 15-year-old Nick, giving the victory sign. And 13-year-old Dom, seen here smiling for the camera, also spent his birthday trapped in the cave. His mother posting this photo on Tuesday, showing him and his coach during a past celebration.
James Longman reporting there. And while the plight of the boys and their coach was captured the world's attention, dozens of journalists and bloggers are there documenting the rescue effort. And they say the ongoing muddy and wet conditions at that cave are not helping in that effort at all. For more on the latest breaking news across the world and here at home, as well as your First Alert weather forecast, remember you can download our app. Go to your app store, look for WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we'll tell you the secrets of finally getting a good night's sleep. And then later, a woman dragged through the air for 45 minutes before crashing to the ground in a parasailing accident is talking about that experience for the first time.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone.
Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
So we are looking at an air temperature already at 85 degrees, a little bit cooler than we had 24 hours ago at this time. We'll look for an east wind at about 8 to continue for a little while longer before we start to develop a more westerly wind flow. 92 degrees, the feels like temperature. Again, we are looking at a warm heat index again today. Dew point value coming in at 74, still kind of sticky out there. As we head into the afternoon, we'll factor in about a 30% chance of rain. That's about less than half of what we had yesterday. The rain chance will occur near the coastline at first as the sea breeze begins to form, but then will be more in inland areas where the heavier rain will develop later on in the afternoon. And those showers will tend to kind of build and just die in place in the center part of the state. So we probably won't see much of a blowback of showers like we've seen over the last several days, where the showers built in inland areas and then drifted back to the coastline. We're in kind of a transition period where that motion is going to stop for a few days. So by 7 o'clock tonight, I think everything will quiet down and we'll look for a pretty quiet overnight. So this large gyre of rain showers that moved out into the Gulf waters now is the system that yesterday brought us the intensely heavy rainfall at times, as well as some pretty gusty winds associated with it as well. Caused some folks to go scrambling, of course, for the 4th of July, but luckily the fireworks got off without too much of a hitch as everything died down during the evening. That little trough of low pressure will continue to press away from us, and as it does so, it will allow high pressure to build back in across our region. As that happens, our winds will start to develop more of a westerly flow as opposed to the easterly flow that we have had. That will tend to encourage a few showers near the coast in the morning, but right now we don't have a lot going on. A few showers out in Gulf waters, but that's about it. We'll see a few locally build here on the Gulf shoreline over the course of the next couple of hours, and then, as I mentioned, everything will drift inland. We'll have less coverage today than yesterday, and tomorrow probably the same, less coverage. We have this gyre moving away from the state of Florida. We have high pressure building in, mostly to the south, and we have a couple of systems that we're watching. This one has about a 30 to 40% chance of developing, but even if it did, it moves off to the northeast away from us. We also have a new tropical depression number 2 in this system. Kind of cool waters down there. It's not going to have much of a chance of doing too much developing. It's still got a lot of dry air around it. It's in relatively cool waters. I mean, just marginally warm enough for development. 35-mile-an-hour winds right now. Tropical Depression 2 continued on a forecast track that By Sunday, we'll pretty much put it in a zone where upper level winds will tear it apart, and it won't have much of a chance of surviving thereafter. So at that point, it's still almost 2,000 miles away from us, so this has no bearing whatsoever on our forecast. But it's interesting to note, tropical season heating up just a little bit, and we do have a system that may become a named system. If it did, it would be Beryl, but I doubt that it will. Forecast looks like this. We're talking about seas that are pretty nice out there. West wind coming in at about 5 knots this afternoon into the evening. The east wind at about 10 during the overnight. About a 30% chance of showers today, maybe a little less than that tomorrow. Then we get that wind shift coming in out of the west that'll push most of the showers to the other coast. Saturday and Sunday, we'll see a few morning showers near the coastline. Then in the afternoon, everything gets pushed inland away from us. And so we'll probably have pretty sunny days both Saturday and Sunday despite the 30% chance of showers. And next work week, we'll keep that 30 to 40% chance of rain in the forecast. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In Health Smart today, the secrets to finally getting a good night's sleep. The CDC says a third of Americans are not getting at least 7 hours of rest a night, the recommended amount for adults. ABC's Diane Macedo signed up for sleep boot camp to find some solutions.
For me, getting sleep has always been a challenge, and working overnight hours doesn't help. So I'm heading to Blue Sleep's Dr. Jordan Stern to see if he can fix my insomnia. Turns out I'm doing everything wrong. For starters, I go to bed as soon as I get home, but between 3 shows, that varies from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., not counting extra shoots.
It's important to have a routine schedule because your brain has a routine schedule and all of the cells in your body have a 24-hour cycle.
My second mistake, staying in bed even when I can't sleep.
After 20 minutes, get out of bed, do something that's relaxing, and then when you start feeling sleepy, then get back into bed.
To make up for my lack of sleep, I take long naps later in the day.
Ideally, you should nap no longer than 20 minutes and try to keep it at least 6 or 7 hours before you go to sleep.
Even my pajamas were wrong.
The issue with pajamas is that they can probably cause overheating.
Finally, my eating habits.
Happy pizza day! Ooh, delicious.
Eating a big heavy meal definitely will make you sleep badly.
So over the course of the next 3 weeks, I rescheduled midday shoots, quit pigging out before bedtime, got lighter PJs, stopped napping, and started going to bed around 9 a.m. every day, even on weekends.
I'm determined to make it to 9 a.m.
It's all part of cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, the gold standard treatment. Still, my biggest challenge was less straightforward.
When I finally get into bed, my mind is kind of racing and I just can't seem to calm down.
The best solution for me was a trick called constructive worry. A couple of hours before bedtime, quickly jot down anything weighing on your mind and how to resolve it. 3 weeks later,
You're sleeping a reasonable amount of time, and the proportion of deep sleep and light sleep that you get is almost normal.
and with a few more adjustments, I'm finally sleeping 8 hours. For Good Morning America, Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
I know John Scalzi watching that story very closely. All right, let's get over to the kitchen. Say hello to our friend Chef Samuel Ray from Tsunami Sushi and Hibachi Grill on Central Avenue in Sarasota. Sam, great to see you back in our kitchen. What are you fixing for us today?
Scott, I'm so glad to be here. Today we're doing a local favorite, dynamite shrimp.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved.
It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila, sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
An update now on a young woman who was seriously injured in a terrifying parasailing crash in Mexico. Her rope broke, sending her flying out of control for 45 minutes. Well, she's now out of the hospital, and ABC's Gio Benitez sat down with her.
She's the survivor of that heart-stopping parasailing accident captured on tape. This morning, 29-year-old Katie Malone is out of the hospital.
Happy to be out, you know, and just get back to everyday life and move forward.
And speaking out for the first time exclusively with ABC News about that terrifying experience.
When I was up there flipping around and stuff, I was able to hold myself and carry my weight and brace myself.
Here we go, Katie. Malone on vacation in Puerto Vallarta celebrating her birthday when she took off for that parasailing adventure. Moments later, the tether connecting her to the boat coming loose. You can see her flying uncontrollably through the air for 45 terrifying minutes.
When I was going down fast, that's when I started spinning in circles and I got sick. So then I just, you know, started saying a prayer, and right before I crashed, I passed out.
Oh my God. The rogue parasail at times going horizontal, bobbing back and forth. Malone eventually crash landing at an airport. Malone suffering several injuries, including a fractured skull, broken ribs, and a collapsed lung, spending 26 days in the hospital fighting for her life. Injuries so serious, she was airlifted from Mexico to San Diego, her father watching as she landed on the tarmac.
She's doing good. Her spirits are up. We're just happy that she's back over here to get, you know, the proper treatment.
And we're just happy to get her out, and the 4th of July is quite a day to have her out.
I want to say thank you for everybody that supported me and been here for me. You know, it's been helping a lot to get through this.
That was Gio Benitez reporting. Katie is expected to make a full recovery, but doctors don't have a timetable on when that might be. Back over to the kitchen now. John is with our guest today, Sam Ray from Tsunami Sushi and Hibachi Grill in Sarasota.
Always a pleasure having you in the kitchen, sir.
Oh, I can't. I'm so glad to be here.
Good to have you here.
Yeah.
So what you cooking for us now?
We're doing dynamite shrimp.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Good. Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right. Let me throw
Bring
these
it on.
bad boys on the fryer.
Okay.
All right. You can fry them. You can grill them. You can batter them. Excuse me.
Sure. So in a hot skillet?
Hot skillet, yeah.
Okay.
So this is just vegetable oil here.
Okay. And we just want to cook these until they start to turn color, or?
Exactly. It only takes about a minute on each side for shrimp.
Not long.
They're quick ones, yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Let's talk about sauce, though.
Yes, let's do.
Sauce is the most important, all right? I'm gonna have you make it. Are
okay.
you ready?
Yeah,
Are you ready?
Bring it on.
I need 2 tablespoons of
That looks like
sweet
a
chili sauce.
I was gonna say it looks like a Thai chili sauce.
That's my guy.
2 tablespoons, did you say?
Yeah, yeah.
There's 1.
That's it.
There's 2. How's that?
That's it. That's it. And then just I mean, you can fluctuate with this.
Okay.
You know, do what you want. That's sriracha.
All right. That's sriracha. We'll stop right there. That's about what?
Right.
Teaspoon or so?
Making it for you. And then mayo.
Okay. How much mayo?
I'd say 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
Absolutely.
All right.
You can fluctuate with this recipe.
Okay.
Everything is dependable on.
Does that look like a good color to you right there?
It does. It does. It
All right.
does. And then the honey.
Yeah.
Is what's going to kill that spice.
Okay. Well, I didn't put much spice in.
And the chili.
I like it spicy, but you know, I never know what people around here like, so we'll do.
I'm into sweet, Bill.
All right.
And honey, local honey, is the best.
Good stuff. Boy, we have some good local honey too.
Oh, it's
we sure
fantastic.
do. It is.
Go check out the local the market downtown on Saturday.
Farmers market's great.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
You open for brunch on Saturday?
Absolutely.
Oh, so
absolutely.
Hit the farmers market and then go over to Tsunami Grill, right?
Please do.
And
please
then
do.
add a little.
Yeah, there's scallions,
Okay.
green onions.
All of them? I'll put them all in.
It's kind of a staple in Asian food.
All right. Well, that's pretty easy sauce.
Yeah. So, really, you just cook these guys up, and then throw that sauce on them. Toss it with them.
Do you have this on your menu?
Absolutely.
You
yeah.
do. You keep it on the menu?
It's part of our Savor menu that we're running through August. Yeah. It's a bento box.
And what you got on your Savor menu?
You start with a soup, salad, and then you get one of these guys. It's one of the appetizers we got. And then it's a full-on bento box.
Pretty good deal. Well, while you go ahead and plate this up and get her all ready, I'll remind everybody the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining button, and the recipe will be right there for you. So, Sam, what do? Just plate it up, pour the sauce over it, and the final product looks something like this, right?
That's it. That's it.
Oh, man, that looks tasty. That looks tasty. All right. I can't wait to give it a try. Thanks so much for coming in.
John, my pleasure.
Always fun. We'll be right back.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us swim! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit USASwimmingFoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Imagine a world
filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Coming up, a big month ahead for President Trump. When will he reveal his newest Supreme Court nominee? Plus, a woman climbs the Statue of Liberty in protest, why police say she decided to pull the stunt on the 4th of July. And lightning strikes a Florida home with the owners inside, how they avoided being hurt, and a look at the damage that bolt left behind.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story today at 12:30. President Trump only days away from announcing his Supreme Court pick. The president has interviewed at least 7 candidates as he decides who to replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. ABC's Arlette Saenz explains some of the intense lobbying underway as the president nears a decision.
President Trump celebrated Independence Day with military families at the White House as he narrowed down his Supreme Court shortlist. A source familiar with his interview efforts says the president has wrapped up his interviews, talking with 7 contenders. ABC News has learned the current frontrunners include Amy Coney Barrett, Brett Kavanaugh, Raymond Kethledge, and Amol Thapar, who all met with the president on Monday.
It's such an important decision, and we're going to give you a great one like Justice Gorsuch. We hit a home run there, and we're going to hit a home run here.
But one potential nominee is facing pushback from some top Republicans, Federal Court of Appeals Judge Brett Kavanaugh. The 53-year-old judge was a former clerk of retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy and worked in the White House under President George W. Bush.
To be a good umpire and a good judge, don't be a jerk.
Kavanaugh has also said judges should be willing to change.
It means having an open mind. It means a willingness to change your mind. That's something that judges have to do.
Some Republicans are worried Kavanaugh won't be a reliable conservative vote. ABC News has learned GOP Senators Rand Paul, Tom Cotton, and Ted Cruz called the president to express concerns. Sources tell ABC News some anti-abortion rights groups are quietly pushing for Judge Amy Coney Barrett, a devout Catholic and mother of 7. President Trump heads to Montana today for a campaign rally where he could give a hint about his decision. That formal announcement will come in a primetime event on Monday night. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
New developments from the border. Federal officials say DNA testing is now being done as part of the process to reunite children who were separated from their parents as part of the Trump administration's zero tolerance policy. Officials would not say how long the practice has been going on or if the testing requires consent. The Department of Health and Human Services reports more than 2,000 children are still separated from their families. The Senate Intelligence Committee is backing up the conclusion that Russia tried to help President Trump win the election. Intelligence agencies concluded last year that Moscow meddled in the 2016 election in order to help Donald Trump. And now the Senate assessment says the conclusion was based on sound intelligence work. But some senators are at odds with Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee and President Trump. He's still refusing to say whether Russia was trying to help him, even though his entire national security team says it did. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is heading to North Korea. This is his 3rd trip there in 3 months. The top U.S. diplomat scheduled to meet directly with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Pompeo has not revealed much about the state of negotiations after the Singapore summit between Kim and President Trump. Pompeo has not laid out a timeline, but the next steps on the agenda in his meeting with Kim. It was reported earlier this week that Defense Intelligence Agency believes that Kim has no plans to undo his nuclear program. The woman arrested for climbing the Statue of Liberty last night is expected to be in court sometime today. Therese Oko-Umo partly climbed up the statue as part of a protest. She said she was protesting the separation of migrant parents and their children. Officers eventually climbed up and cautiously took her into custody. The statue was evacuated during the incident, but there were no injuries reported.
It's definitely dangerous, but that's why we try to take our time and do it as safely as possible. In the beginning, she basically threatened, to push us off, push the ladder off. But, we were persistent.
Oko Umau faces charges of trespassing, disorderly conduct, and interfering with government functions, but more charges could be added when she's formally arraigned. Happening in Florida, new at noon, the Tampa Police Department says a man was shot in the shoulder at Busch Gardens during a 4th of July fireworks celebration. It happened around 10 o'clock last night. Police say he received treatment at an area hospital and is expected to make a full recovery. X-rays of the man's injury did not show a bullet, but police believe the wound was from someone who was shooting into the air outside of the theme park. Police are still looking for that suspect and say the investigation is ongoing. The Miami-Dade School District is working to hire 100 officers before school starts in the fall. New officers in the first batch of recruits say the tragic events in Parkland earlier this year were a call to serve. Some of the new hires have previous law enforcement experience, but others are new, just looking to make a difference in the lives of students and faculty.
After those unfortunate events that happen at the schools, I really felt the call in my heart to do more, to protect the children beyond the classroom settings.
Department plans to swear in another batch of officers next week. Well, check out this viral video capturing the hearts of millions right now online. That's 22-month-old Chimp, unable to contain his excitement every time he sees the couple that helped raise him. Limbani lives at the Zoological Wildlife Foundation in Miami-Dade County. When he first arrived, he was sick and needed around-the-clock care. Well, now the hope is that the love Limbani shares with his rescue family will inspire others to love these animals just the same. Don't you love that? So excited.
He was excited. And love them in the hands of professionals.
Yeah,
not as your own house pets.
No.
Yeah. We have across our region today some pretty nice weather. A lot of blue sky out there. Fair weather skies across the entire Suncoast right now, leading to a pleasant afternoon. We're a little bit lower relative humidity to start off the morning. Made it feel kind of comfortable. A few degrees cooler as well. So that was nice. As we head into the afternoon, we'll see more of the same, I think, with only a few showers and thunderstorms building. The low pressure area that brought us the heavy rainfall yesterday now moving up toward Louisiana Delta region, actually further away from Florida. We have high pressure building down to our south, and we're going to develop a westerly wind eventually. That will help to take showers and thunderstorms and push them to the other coast. But for today, we have a chance at seeing a few showers on our coast. Relatively light wind flow as we're in kind of this transition day from an east wind to a west wind. And as we're in this transition period, our sea breeze will be allowed to build a little bit stronger today. It will bring showers and thunderstorms, but they'll be mostly in inland areas and slow movers at that. In fact, they won't move much. So along the coastline, really, our rain chance holds at only about 20 to 30% today. Not much, actually, and we'll start to decrease that rain chance as we head into the later part of the afternoon. Complete forecast for you coming up in just a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Right now, wildfires are gaining strength across the West, with a couple especially large fires burning in California and in Colorado. Reporter Andrew Spencer explains how at times the weather has made these fires extremely unpredictable.
Strong winds whipped up the Lake Christine fire, burning in Basalt, Colorado, northwest of Aspen. The fire grew quickly Wednesday. Evacuation orders came in for people to leave immediately. No time to pack.
I'm scared because I don't have a chance to take anything.
Of course, we're scared, right? But we have our pets, we have our kids, and we're going.
With erratic winds making predictions difficult, the Eagle County Sheriff's Office said residents who feel unsafe should leave and not wait for evacuation orders. There's also a lot of uncertainty surrounding the Spring Creek fire in southern Colorado, as evacuees wait to find out when they'll be able to get back home and whether their homes will still be standing. The Spring Creek fire is now the third largest wildfire in state history. As of midnight, it was still only 5% contained, having burned more than 95,000 acres. In California, the county fire has burned almost as much land, having scorched more than 86,000 acres across the Napa and Yolo counties as of Wednesday night.
My house has never been a mile away from burning up, so yeah, pretty scary.
Right now, dozens of wildfires are burning across the West, and more than 13,000 firefighters and support staff are doing what they can to try and contain them. I'm Andrew Spencer, reporting.
Caught on camera, a Satellite Beach family survives after a bolt of lightning blasted a hole in their ceiling. 12-year-old Gavin Schumacher was sitting in his living room at the time of the strike. Looks like it wasn't a direct hit, but it did leave 2 holes in their ceiling.
And a neighbor across the canal saw it hit that coconut palm, must have come down the palm, exploded, shooting up the mud and the water.
It was really loud. I was very scared because it shook me.
You can see the hole.
To have traveled through the attic, making those 2 exit holes, but fortunately it did miss the people inside. A tornado touched down Wednesday afternoon in Lake County. It started as a waterspout over Lake Eustis before coming ashore and destroying a warehouse and damaging a restaurant. While it did a lot of damage, the National Weather Service reports it was a small twister coming in as an EF0 on their enhanced scale, which is the least powerful of those tornadoes. Congratulations to 2 Suncoast restaurants. They just made the list of the best seafood dives in Florida. Trips to Discover releasing a list of its top 12 best seafood dives, and Owens Fish Camp in downtown Sarasota and the Starfish Company in Cortez made that list. The travel group says the 2 restaurants focus on fresh boat-to-table food, having amazing waterfront views and boasting some old school Florida vibes. Still to come in your Suncoast News today, why more adults are looking to make some money outside of their full-time jobs through what's called side gigs.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically, and I don't know what we would have done without that.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
WWSB ABC 7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC 7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we are looking at an air temperature coming in at 85 degrees, dew point value coming in at 74, giving us a feels like of 92. It's going to be another warm, hot, sticky day today. Won't have as many cooling showers, that's for sure, so we'll have a longer spell of temperatures up there near 90. I'll say we hit the 90 mark by about 3 p.m. Put it at about 30% chance of a shower. That's really about it. First, near the coastline, a few showers might build, and then better chances inland. Inland, when you get into Hardee, DeSoto County, maybe into Highlands County, you'll probably see about a 50% chance of showers there, maybe 50 to 60% chance later today. Otherwise, I don't think we'll see a whole lot during the evening hours, maybe a few fair weather clouds. That's about it. The trough of low pressure that brought us yesterday's showers and storms has now moved out into the northern central Gulf waters, moving up toward the Louisiana Delta region. It's left behind a very light flow, and that's already encouraged this kind of little bit of a sea breeze forming on the other coast, where there's a light easterly wind kind of enhancing that east coast sea breeze. You can see that line of showers in the last frame there beginning to develop. That's going to come across the state, and it's going to hit our sea breeze, which actually will have a better chance of forming and building because of the light wind flow across the state, and it'll move further inland. And when it hits that other sea breeze that's already starting to form, you'll see the explosion of showers again develop. Hardee, DeSoto, Highlands counties. Unlike the last few days, there's not going to be a strong east wind to push those showers back to our coast. I think a lot of the activity is going to die out in inland areas, just where it builds. A lot of sunshine around too. That's kind of nice to see. The sunshine will help to encourage the formation of that sea breeze, of course. The trough of low pressure continues to push away from the state of Florida. Our easterly wind that we have had for so long starts to fade just a little bit, and high pressure begins to build from the south, eventually bringing us a westerly wind by either tomorrow or Saturday. So mostly sunny to start, building afternoon storms, and then most storms will form inland and die inland. That'll be the name of the game for the next several days, I think. Watch the Futurecast. We'll watch those showers begin to form, mostly in inland areas. That's where the strongest storms will be, and then they'll pretty much die out in that same location as we head into the evening. The forecast for the next several days will feature some pretty nice boating weather, I think. We have a west wind which will become more consistent as we head into tomorrow, especially tomorrow evening in through Saturday and Sunday. I think we'll have that west onshore wind flow. A few scattered showers around. Watch for those out there in the Gulf, but just pretty much light chop with 2-foot seas. Nice conditions. Forecast for the next several days shaping up like this. 30% chance of showers today, maybe even less tomorrow. We develop that westerly wind flow, and yes, we'll have a chance of showers Saturday and Sunday, but there'll be scattered showers near the coast in the morning, followed by inland showers later in the afternoon, leaving the coast clear. That's because of that west wind that brings those lines of showers toward the other coast. And we'll carry on next work week with about a 30 to 40% chance of rain. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, more and more Americans are taking on extra work just to make ends meet. Kim Hutcherson has a look at the most popular side jobs and what to look for when considering one.
Call it the side hustle nation. Nearly 4 in 10 Americans are working another job to bring in extra cash. That's according to a recent survey by Bankrate.com. Men and millennials are most likely to be working an extra job. 59% of side hustlers do it to earn more disposable income. But 38% say they take on extra work in order to cover ordinary living expenses. The 4 most popular side jobs are home repair and landscaping, online sales, crafts, and childcare. The median side hustler earns $200 per month, and the average is about $686. Men are more likely to have a side hustle than women, and they tend to make more. The report says male side hustlers earn an average of $989 per month, nearly triple the $361 earned by women. Experts recommend you do some competitive research and demand you get paid what you deserve. Also, if you have a contract, read it carefully and look for any potential conflicts of interest. For Consumer Watch, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Well, if you're heading home today after holiday celebrations, don't forget to buckle up. The Click It or Ticket campaign is in full effect over the holiday travel week. If you need some motivation to remember, safety experts say if you're involved in a crash and you are not wearing a seatbelt, you have a 90% chance of being severely injured or even killed. 90%. It's also important to wear your seatbelt properly because that can be just as dangerous as not wearing one at all.
Worst outcome is obviously death, but sometimes there's the living death, is what we call injuries that are lifelong, that cost people millions of dollars in expenses, hospital expenses, living expenses.
Reed also says you should have all children in car seats facing backwards at least until they weigh 40 pounds or 40 inches tall. Germany's leader says she wants to avoid a possible trade war with the United States, but Chancellor Angela Merkel says there are two sides to that and adds that the world economy depends on countries working together. The Trump administration and the EU have gone back and forth on putting tariffs on Germany. So far, under President Trump, the U.S. has placed tariffs on 7 different countries' exports. Facebook is getting rid of a few of its site's apps. The company is shutting down the apps Hello, TBH, and Moves due to low usage. Hello combines Facebook information with phone contacts. Moves is a fitness app, and TBH is an anonymous social media platform for teens. Facebook said personal data from those apps will be deleted within the next 3 months. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how a couple remodeling their bathroom discovered a secret message that's 20 years in the making.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veterans Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you waste planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
In entertainment news, the inside scoop on the latest Marvel hero to hit the big screen, the next movie for an X-Files star, and the next role for a 3-time Oscar winner. David Daniel has it all in today's Hollywood Minute.
I wish I could fight bad guys like you.
I seem to mess it up almost every time.
When Paul Rudd returns this weekend in Ant-Man and the Wasp, his character Scott Lang is still looking for that work-life balance, according to director Peyton Reed.
I've always seen Scott Lang as the ultimate everyman in the MCU. You know, he's not a billionaire, he's not a super scientist, he's not a god, he's just like a normal guy who's made some bad decisions in his life. And his goal in this movie is similar to the first movie. He wants to be a good dad to his daughter. And he loves being a hero, but that suit has really only complicated his life.
When I was a kid, I saw something. These lights outside. It wasn't a drone. The guy on TV was lying.
You don't automatically jump to the most extreme explanation.
The truth is up there? X-Files veteran Gillian Anderson, David Strathairn, and Tony Award winner Alex Sharp star in the new trailer for UFO, about a college student convinced we're not alone in the universe.
Sort of a breakout moment.
Meryl, meet the March family. According to the Los Angeles Times, Oscar winner Meryl Streep is set to play Aunt March in the latest big screen take on Little Women, Louisa May Alcott's iconic novel about 4 sisters living in Massachusetts during the Civil War. A classic actress for a classic tale. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Celine Dion thrilling fans with her first ever performance in Singapore earlier this week. The pop diva took the stage in front of an audience of about 6,000 people after kicking off her Celine Dion Live 2018 tour last month in Tokyo. Dion is set to perform in several cities across Asia like Taipei, Manila, and Bangkok. The tour also includes stops in Australia and New Zealand. Scarlett Johansson is at the center of another controversial casting. She's set to star as a transgender man in the upcoming film called Rub and Tug, about a transgender man who ran a number of massage parlors in Pittsburgh where prostitution took place. Some critics are mocking Johansson for getting the role. She was also blasted 2 years ago for taking on a role as a Japanese character in Ghost in the Shell. Finally, imagine yourself renovating a home. You knock down the wall, and then you find a note hidden inside from more than 20 years ago. Well, Alex and Jess Money were redoing a bathroom and had just taken down a wall when they saw the message left by the previous owners, who apparently had a sense of humor. It says, quote, "We remodeled this bathroom summer of 1995. If you're reading this, that means you're remodeling the bathroom again. What's wrong with the way we did it?" There's also a picture of the couple and a pet rabbit that lived in the house as well. The couple say they plan on leaving their own message after the remodel that someone may find in the future. That's neat, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
My wife and I left a message inside of one of our walls.
Yeah?
Funny story. We put it in there along with a little stuffed animal that the drywallers then took out and drywalled. They had to tear out the drywall to put the thing back in.
Have a great day, everyone.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The body, it is a work of art and a powerful ally in the fight against cancer. A new approach called immunotherapy works by helping our immune system correctly identify and eradicate many types of cancer cells. Speak with your doctor and visit su2c.org/immunotherapy to learn more. Your body might just be your greatest hope.
I'll be right back.
Every child follows a path in life.
For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.